Hey guys, welcome aboard. This is going to be part 2, day 2 on the cookie jar reef tank here. So let me start out with a couple of things here. Number one, this is just a temporary light on here, so we could kind of see what's going on in the tank here. So this episode, I think I'm going to try to work out the circulation here, and as you can see, I got some bubbles coming in there. I just temporarily hooked up my little pump here that I had lying around. Got an air hose running to an air stone back there. Now, you could see that does produce quite a bit of circulation within the tank. You can see some of the bubbles kind of flying around and whatnot. So that does the circulation here, right? But I'd have to try to limit the actual amount of air coming up through there, because just the way I have it right now, and I just have a little wood air stone there that I had lying around. There's a lot of splash. Now we're using the lid here. Let me go ahead and grab that. So so here's the lid. I should watch what I'm doing and not keep an eye on the camera. So here's the lid. The lid does sit up on there, and you can see I've had this thing running for a few minutes, and quite a bit of bubble splash comes up, which I kind of don't want. And you can actually see it here. Let me see if I can focus in. And no, it's not going to focus. It doesn't want to focus. Come on, focus. There we go. All right. So there's quite a bit of bubble splash. You can see it kind of bouncing up and down right there. All right, so we don't really want that, even though we're going to have the lid on in the final solution here. So, as much as that works for some other people, especially if you had like maybe a limiter and you kind of limited the amount of air getting pushed through there, but then again, you're going to be limiting the amount of circulation, and the whole point is to kind of have enough circulation in the tank to keep things stirred up and to keep the corals happy. So my next option was a small pump, right? So I started digging through my cabinet of fish tank stuff, and here's what I came up with. I've got a couple of these small pumps like this. These are actually a little bit too big. This is what I found, though. Look at this. This pump, I think, is one of the original pumps that comes with like a SPEC 5 that you see right there. Okay, so I did a little test of this pump inside of, just in the sink in a bowl, just to see how much flow it has, and it works real nice. I think this is going to be what I'm going to go with here. Now, you can limit the amount of flow right here. There's a little slider right here, and so this kind of blocks off the flow. And I tested it full on, full off. It's got a pretty big range. You can have it just kind of almost just trickling out nice and slow, or you can have a pretty good stream coming through with this little pump. Now I'll try to find a link to something similar and post that in the video description there too. Also, what I found, because I got a couple of these pumps here, I did find a little elbow like this that fits perfectly. Now the water gets sucked in through here, circulated up, and then goes, out this end here. So I'm going to try to kind of, even though the cord comes off on the bottom, I can kind of wrap it around, and the nice thing is it's got the sticky legs here, the little suction cup legs, so I can stick it on the glass in the back behind the rock and just have the cord coming up, and then have this little elbow so it's shooting shooting water up, which is kind of what I think I'm gonna want to do. So the fact that this will allow me to do the intake up at the top instead of down into the sand, and then have this thing turned around. I'm going to go ahead and replace my little bubbler there, and put this in there, kind of limit the flow a little bit, and we'll see what that looks like compared to the bubbles over there. My goodness, my camera's having trouble focusing today. Anyway, let me go ahead and replace that, and we'll take a look and see what it looks like. Okay, so I've put the pump in. I got it stuck to the back. We'll take a little bit closer look on here. But let me go ahead and just kill the blue light on this light so we can kind of see a little bit better here. You can really see how that rock in the curved glass with the water in it definitely looks bigger than it actually is. Now, there's a bunch of crud in here floating around because I just stuck my hand in there and stirred things up. But you can see there's plenty of flow coming off of that pump now. And there's some definite circulation here. Even down here at the bottom, if you take a look at things, you'll see stuff floating around. I don't know what that is. Almost looks like a little brine shrimp. Anyway, let's take a look at the top right here. So you can see that's what it looks like from the top. It's breaking the water ever so slightly. And this is with the pump set on full. I initially put it in there and I restricted it to half, and it was still pretty good, but this actually looks a little better. Don't mind the dog hair in there. I can't seem to... Doesn't matter if I get all the dog hair off my arm, it still somehow finds its way into there. Now, what I'm going to do is we'll go around the back here. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the tank around so you can see the pump. Okay, so I just spun the thing around, and here is the pump. So we're looking at the back side here, and you can see, you know, I've got it sitting just off the sand bed. Again, the intake is at the top right here, and I've got the little restrictor all the way open. So I'm doing full water, and it seems to be doing pretty good. The 4 suction cups on here, even though it's on like a curved glass, seems to be holding it there. We'll see how that works out. I might have to clean those up a little bit. Just to make sure they're all stuck on. But the pump behind the rock with the elbow looks good, and it's doing just enough flow. I think that's probably like almost the perfect size for this little pico. And again, it's nice that we can restrict it too. So just in case we get, you know, once we get corals in there and we see we want to kind of move things a little bit slower. So that's it, I guess, for part 2 here. We've got our circulation, and again, I'm waiting for the light to come in, and then that'll probably be one of the next videos. So this is the end of part 2, day 2. You know, and I still haven't gotten my Dr. Tim's. I said that in the other video. I got to go get some Dr. Tim's and pour it in here, but I wanted to. Well, I didn't have enough time. Let's put it that way. So I'm going to try to do that today. And so the only other thing I got to buy for this, because I didn't buy this pump, I had that lying around, but the only other thing I got to buy is the heater. So I'm looking at you know, some really small heaters to put in there, and that's it. And after that, we really don't have to buy anything other than the lamp stand kind of thing. But I may have one. I may have a spare that I'm going to use. So I'm going to wait for the light bulb to come in, and then see how that looks, and see how it works, and see how heavy the light bulb is, and you know, see how it works out. We'll do a video on that. So anyway, thanks for watching. Go ahead, hit subscribe, hit your like button there, hit the bell button to get notified when I post the new videos here, and you know, let me know what you think so far. Post in the comments there. Let me know. Till next time, guys. Take care. Bye.